Hello, Facebook family. Darren Roberts coming to you. It is December 2016. You know that because you're alive. And I just wanted to share a couple of things. I had a lot of people have been emailing me for a lot of different reasons. One of which is some people who are looking for Christmas gifts or who want to just know, are there some books that I recommend for people to buy? And I looked back over 2016 and I read 22 books. I try to keep a diet of around two per month. I try to get to about a book every 2 weeks. And my reading schedule usually is about 30 minutes in the morning, try to do 30 minutes around lunch, midday, then 30 minutes in the afternoon, evening. So 22 books later, I've got 6 books that really changed my mindset, changed the way that I thought about the world, and they're also giving me some things to think about as I approach 2017. Not all of these books were written in 2016. Okay, so the key is they're books that made an impact on me. I suggest that you read them or gift them to someone. I'm not making any money off of them, and no, I am not going to recommend my own book today. These are just some books that really changed the way that I think and teach and live. And so I want to start with number 1, which is Mindset. Mindset by Carol Dweck. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple of things about Carol Dweck. One, she's a researcher at Stanford University. If you have some time, which you do, you have to listen to her TED Talk. She gives an incredible talk on this growth versus fixed mindset. Okay, so in the book Mindset, you are going to listen to Carol Dweck talk through her research that looks at how people achieve, how people grow and how they succeed, and how they learn and build new competencies. And she's got a great quote. She says, "Becoming is better than being." So becoming is better than being. I like that quote. I think it's a little better than the old cliche, the joy is in the journey. But becoming is better than being. She talks about fixed versus growth mindset. So fixed mindset is this notion that, hey, where I am is where I'm going to be. I have a certain set of skills and traits, and those skills and traits aren't going to change. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is, hey, listen, I can get better. Where I am now is not where I have to end up at the end of the day. I have the tools. I have all that I need to be able to increase my capacity to do better. So, number 1, Mindset by Carol Dweck. Also, watch her TED Talk. It will change your life. Okay, the next 2 books should be read in tandem. All right? Now, I know a lot of people have been feeling a lot of different ways about this recent election with Mr. Trump becoming our president. I'm not going to weigh in on that. Here are 2 books that I think will explain to you what America's going through. Okay? Now, you probably, if you know anything about me, if you've had any contact with me, you know how much I love Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. All right? Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is mandatory reading. Okay? This book is one that I have, it's a part of my syllabus in a class that I call Game Plan for Winning at Life. Mr. Coates won the National Book Award in 2015. He, first of all, it's a letter to his young son, and he's explaining race and the issue of race in America. Okay. You need to read this book for several reasons. One, I think it gives you an insight into some of the racial inequalities, disparities, and some feelings by people of feeling left out from a racial dimension. Okay. Number 2, this is the most well-written book that I've read in the last 10 years. Okay. Mr. Coates used some language and some words. If you want to become a better writer, this is the book for you. There's a great quote that he says in the book. He says that race is the child of racism, not the father. All right. So whether or not you agree with what he says, it's just good to get a sense of the racial dimensions and kind of situations in America. Okay, you got to read this one with this one. All right, Hillbilly Elegy. All right, Mr. J.D. Vance. In a sense, this book tells you, okay, gives you insight into the life of poor white Americans. Let's put it that way. And it is unrelenting. All right, he uses some language, and there are some twists and turns. And this is a man who went from poverty to graduate from Yale Law School. But he talks about, okay, the plight of poor white Americans. These two books, I'm telling you, they have to be read in tandem, which means back to back. For all you SAT scholars, read these two books. Between the World and Me, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Hillbilly Elegy, J.D. Vance. I read it once this year. I'm going to read it again over the break. Two good books. Give you a good sense of what's going on in America. Okay. Number 4. If you're so smart, why aren't you happy? If you're so smart, why aren't you happy? Now, Raj is a friend of mine. He teaches here at the Macomb School of Business. Okay, he talks about several issues. One is which, a lot of us think that wealth will make us happy. That's incorrect. He really unpacks that, and he talks about how can we become happier people. Okay, and why happiness is a good thing. What I like about Raj's book, and I've written a lot in here, but I want to show you one thing. It's not just descriptive, but it's prescriptive. All of these books that I'm giving to you are prescriptive as well. So he goes and talks about, all right, here's the book chapters and the titles. He's going to talk to you about, okay, here are the issues: devaluing happiness, chasing superiority, desperation for love, being overly controlling. That's not me. Distrusting others, passionate, indifferent pursuit of passion, and then mind addiction. So he unpacks those issues, and then he goes into the prescriptive element. Here's how you can get better. Prioritizing but not pursuing happiness, pursuing flow, the need to love and give. So I like the way that Raj has this back and forth, back to back. Hey, here are the issue. Here's what's keeping you from happiness. And here is a way that you can start to gain a competency and turn it around. All right? If you're smart, if you're so smart, why aren't you happy? Get this book. Okay. Number 5. The Road to Character, David Brooks. I was actually gifted this book by a good friend, Alex Judd. Alex, if you're out there, appreciate it. And I was slow to read it, and then I got into it. And let me tell you something. He begins the book and he talks about, in life, there are 2 traits. There are resume traits and there are eulogy traits, okay? So, you think about it, and I always say this. Title, okay? A title is a poor traveling companion. You think it's going to help you get to where you want to go, but once you get that title, you're the president or the CEO or whatever it may be, you'll find that it's not really that comforting. Okay? Here's a great piece. He says, the resume virtues are the ones you list on your resume, the skills that you bring to the job market and that contribute to external success. The eulogy virtues, all right, are deeper. They're the virtues that get talked about at your funeral, the ones that exist at the core of your being. Whether you are kind, brave, honest, or faithful, what kind of relationships you formed. I read this book and I'll tell you what I did. It really made me think about this notion of the eulogy, okay? And I added an assignment to my syllabus where the last assignment for my class, Game Plan for Winning at Life, I forced my students to write their own eulogy. And I'm reading them right now. It's fascinating, okay? It's fascinating. When you really ask someone to think about what is it that they want to be remembered for and to craft that remembrance into words, it's very powerful. In fact, I think I'm going to do that over the break. I'm going to write my own eulogy. I'll share it with you. So number 5, The Road to Character by David Brooks. Pick it up. All right. Last but not least, number 6. Here we go. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Now, here's the thing. There are a ton of self-help books out there, okay? Lose weight in 30 days, gain muscle in 30 days, whatever it may be. This right here, this book will sustain you, all right? It's going to give you the blueprint for how do you build habits that will help you to achieve the goals that you say you want to achieve. So what it's going to do is this. It's going to shorten the distance between where you say you want to be and where you are. All right? Now, let me tell you something. This book is something that you need to read slowly, because I'm the kind of guy that as I read, I keep a notebook, I keep a Google Doc spreadsheet. So different concepts. I want to know what the page number is, where I can go find that. This is a book where you're going to have to bring your red and your black pen and make sure that you're an active reader. I learned that from May Lois White back in Mount Pleasant, Texas, one of my favorite teachers in 3rd grade. She said, you got to be an active reader. All right. So you need to be marking in this book. If you buy a book, it's yours, so write in it. This is one that you're going to take a lot of takeaways from, okay? If you want to start building habits, but not just saying, oh, hey, I want to lose weight, or oh, hey, I want to start a new job, or hey, I want to create a new business. That sounds great. This book is tactical, all right? So think blueprint from getting to where I want to go, from where I am to where I want to go. This is the book that'll do it for you, all right? Now, I'm going to answer a couple questions. I'm going to do a little bit of review for those who came in late. For some people who are sneaking around and listening at work. Number 1, Carol Dweck, Mindset. All right. Also listen to her TED Talk, Incredible Mindset. All right. 2 books that need to be read in tandem, i.e. back to back, side to side. Hillbilly Elegy and Between the World and Me. All right. Number 3, if you're so smart, why aren't you happy? If you're so smart, why aren't you happy? Goodwin talks about happiness. Talks about ways to overcome. Great book. And this is prescriptive, not just descriptive. It's prescriptive, i.e. this is what you need to do. The Road to Character. Are you really doing the things in life that you want to be remembered for? Are you spending time with the people that you care about the most? Are you leaving the kind of legacy that you want to leave? Again, I read this book, and to tell you how it changed my mindset, I went back to my syllabi and I created one additional assignment, which was to ask my students to write their eulogy because I read this book. And then finally, The Power of Habit. The Power of Habit. Charles Duhigg. This is phenomenal, slow reading. Take this one slow. You're not going to want to skim, and you're going to want to bring your Pilot Precise V5 pens. While I'm giving some advice, you need a pen. You need a pen. This is the one. I don't get any affiliate funds or kickbacks from Pilot, but the Pilot Precise V5 pen, do yourself a favor and buy about 100 of them. Okay, any questions? I'll be happy to take any comments. I saw some people were asking me which one would I start with. If I had to start with one book, I'm going to cheat. If I had to start with one book, I'd start with 2. I think as an American, let's say you live in the States. I know some people may be from abroad listening. If I want to understand what happened in this recent election, what's going on in the world right now, these are 2 very good perspectives on America. So I would start with these 2. All right. Now, if I want to get better, if I'm going to pick one book to get better, one book to get better, One book to get better. It's going to be between these two. One book to get better between these two. This one is an oldie but goodie. I mean, this is the Bible of getting right. All right. This one, a little more recent, a little more contemporary. On habit forming, I just don't know if I've read anything better when it comes to habit forming. So we're trying to get better right now. You're trying to change your life in 2017. One of these two books. Well, I just want to finish off by saying, hey, I enjoyed it. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for watching. I know you have a ton of things you can be doing today, but I felt like this is something that maybe could help some people as you're going through the holiday season. Pick one of these titles. All right, pick one of these titles. Just pick one. Don't buy them all. You know, be honest with yourself. You're not going to read them all, but pick one of these. Pick one of these titles. Amazon. I also use a site called half.com because I'm cheap. So half.com. You know, in Austin, Texas, we have half-price books. Online, it's called half.com. It's going to ship it to you media mail, so it's going to be a little slow, but it's going to be half the price you would pay on Amazon. So if you're cheap like me, then go to half.com. And once again, here are the titles. All right. Have a good day. Have a good week. Make sure you keep saying yes. Keep a great attitude. Hug somebody. Smile. We need more people smiling. All the research shows the more you smile, the more it tricks your brain into thinking that you actually love what you're doing. So even if you are depressed or sad or down or whatever it may be, the one thing I can say is, for all of us, please smile. Have a good one.